Wick.
Oh boy.
All right, cool.
How much am I gonna get?
Mr. Wick and Rob, you're on the air. Wick, what'd you do, man? Let's give the floor first. Let's have this organized to Rob, so that he can lay out his case, and then Wick, you can give your defense. Is that cool?
I'm your guest. It's your channel.
Cool. Rob,
yeah,
why don't
Wick, you told people you're a coward. You told people to put their bodies on the line to obstruct law enforcement and to get arrested. You do so from your comfy chair. This is two things. One, it's probably a crime because you've probably incited an insurrection. Secondly, even if
Jesus Christ.
Ha! This is the same, bro. It's okay. I don't care anymore. I'm numb to it. I'm numb to it. I'm trying to that was fake. I just did a fake that I was performing. I tried to muster care, and I couldn't even bring myself
They're
to
just
it because
all
it's
calling
Rob Noer.
everything an insurrection.
Yeah,
now.
him and yeah, it's just not even.
it's not, you're inciting people to break the law, which is despicable. And third, you're going to lead to people being harmed or arrested, which is absolutely despicable. And the situations like we saw are going to become more inevitable because of scumbags like you that encourage people to go out there and challenge law enforcement.
Wick, your response?
Okay, so coward's a funny word for someone who decided to go behind my back, not approaching me, but going to Pisco to talk about me without talking to me, without, confronting me yourself. So the coward's a funny word to use there. I'll start with that. Second of all, when we talk about blood on our hands, I think that the people who are defending these ICE agents and preventing them from being held accountable is just going to lead to these ICE agents continuing to kill people in the street and to brutalize women and to brutalize civilians just for exercising their First Amendment.
Hold on. Everybody, be cool, okay? Don't do it. What are you doing? Why are you guys throwing that? Quick, call it, call it, call it.
I'm calling.
Call it. You guys are not cool. No, you're not gonna kill us because you're not cool. None of you are cool. You're both mega lame, actually.
Right? So if anyone has blood on their hands, it is you, sir. And third, I absolutely stand by my statement that we have a moral obligation to obstruct ICE. And what I mean by that, and I say, if you're a Christian, if you're a patriotic American, you currently have a moral obligation to obstruct ICE. If they come to you and they ask you, where are the Spanish people, where are the Hmong people, where are the Somalians hiding, lie to them. You don't know. You haven't seen shit.
Fuck. Okay, for Wick's position here, so there's probably a legal and there's a moral difference between obstruction and just lack of cooperation. I would never tell people to obstruct, because technically you're telling people to commit a crime. Obstructing an investigation is a crime, but you should know your rights in terms of what are you required to cooperate with. Don't take my word for it, because I don't actually know 100%, but I don't believe that you are required to cooperate with ICE if they ask you questions, especially if you're not personally under an investigation. If ICE comes up to you and they ask you questions about is that guy illegal or not or whatever, I don't think you have to answer. I could be wrong on that though, check it. But I don't believe you have an obligation to help them at any point there. So I think Wick means that, hopefully, more than just the break the law thing, because probably shouldn't be just be telling people to break the law, but so you shouldn't lie to them. If you lie, you might be in trouble, but if you just say, I don't have to answer you, I don't want to talk to you, I think you're okay. That's a vibe legal take, so look that up.
Okay, if you see them, hit record. Take out your phone and hit record. Thank God.
But that's not obstruction. But that's not obstruction.
Let me finish.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Pisco is getting in on this. Okay.
Well, again, record these people. Record these people, and thank God someone was recording.
Obstruction is a physical act. Answering questions has nothing to do with obstruction. I don't believe that's true. Obstruction is anything that interferes with an investigation, I think. So if you're deleting data, let's say ICE, let's say the cops come to your home or whatever, and they think that you've committed a crime, and there's evidence of this on your computer, you start deleting stuff on your computer, that would be considered obstruction of an investigation. It doesn't have to be, well, you could argue that's a physical thing, but
that poor.
Or you could tell somebody not to cooperate, or tell somebody to do something that would be. What are you doing? Why did you do that?
Being a walrus?
No one knows. Okay.
Petty guy who got shot, right? Because otherwise people would still be pushing the DHS lies that they put out. And it's crazy to me that you would defend DHS in this. That's insane. And look, I explicitly said to do this all non-violently. Don't touch them, don't hurt them, don't threaten them, but absolutely do not cooperate in any way, shape, or form.
There you go. Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'll respond. One, wasn't an act of cowardice, and seeing as how I started.
You what?
I have to disagree with Wick, and I will not be elaborating.
Wow.
Started my stream, and I had no idea that you had recommended from your comfy chair that other people go put their bodies on the line by breaking the law. And so that came on in the course of this second. I didn't plan to talk to Pisco. Pisco happened to call into the show, and I was like, did you see what Wick said? And he acknowledged that it was a bad idea. Third, whataboutism, even if I was a coward, it doesn't prove that you're not. I noticed that you won't be out there actively obstructing ICE.
Hold on, why won't I? Hold on, no. If I see ICE, I'm absolutely going to do those things. If ICE comes to Philadelphia,
let Rob respond. Let Rob respond, yeah.
I was capable of sitting there quiet, something that Wick is incapable of doing. In fact, his lack of sort of ability to control himself is why we find ourselves in this position in the first place, where he is actively recommending that his audience break the law, which is despicable. And the idea that this somehow means that, like, oh, that there's blood on my hands or something is ludicrous. It would be no different than saying there was blood on your hands if you didn't think that the shooting of Ashley Babbitt was criminal. This is stupid. You have no idea what I've said. And people like you that are encouraging people to go obstruct ICE, it's what makes violent confrontations with ICE more likely and why these things will continue. Now I'll ask you a specific question. When you say obstruct, you're claiming this non-violently. If it is a religious thing, as a Christian, as an American, you should obstruct. Should you also put your body on the line to prevent them physically from arresting such as some illegal? Should you try to interfere and get in their way to help the person escape? What do you think?
So I will say this, that Petty, when he went to stop that ICE officer from brutalizing the woman and he stood between them, he did something that was righteous and just. And the fact that he was beaten and then murdered for it is shameful and despicable. So when you say things like, oh, you're a coward, if they come to Philadelphia and I happen to be in the area and I see ICE, I will take out my phone, I will film them, I will not cooperate with them. This is not a coward's position.
But why do you consider that obstruction real quick?
Wait, let me finish. Yeah. That's not obstruction, one. Secondly, okay, so your argument is if you see law enforcement struggling with someone and trying to arrest them, whether it be someone that you think is an illegal alien...
Hold on, what did I say?
You didn't answer the question. That's what you said. So I'm asking you specifically the question. The question that okay, if you see them trying to arrest an illegal, are you telling people to get in the way?
Again, it depends on the context. I think that in the context of the Preddy situation, what he did was righteous and just. Yes.
Do you think should he have put his hands on officers to try to prevent them?
He didn't put his hands on officers.
That's not true. He did.
Oh no, he didn't see that.
I didn't see that.
Okay,
yeah, that's not in the video.
Okay,
you show me the frame where he puts the thing. We can pull up the video if you like.
Yep.
He does not throw hands whatsoever. All he does, in fact, he tries to help the lady up and walk away, but the ICE agents drag him back. They pin him down. They punch him in the face repeatedly with a gas canister. They pin him down, they disarm him, and then they shoot him dead.
Yeah, but Wick, that's not obstruction, right? Like I don't think that he was... I agree with you. I think that he was picking her up with the purpose of trying to help her. And I don't think he had the intent to obstruct ICE in its duties. And that's why I don't understand. Like, yeah, I agree that you should record. I agree that you should do... I think that's protected. The courts have found that's protected. I don't think that what Alex said, there's any reason to think that what he did was criminal in that context. And people who are saying that are just fucking... don't have like a clear idea of what's going on. And I don't actually think...
Pisco needs to, for some reason he has trouble defining terms or whatever sometimes, or like understanding where disagreements are coming from. Pisco's right in that it's not obstruction, but obstruction typically refers to like a particular legal thing where you are like taking steps to like proactively, or like it's like a positive action. I don't know why I'm trying to fucking spin it. There's a definition for what obstruction is, and in a legal sense, you can understand that. There's also like a layman sense of like, oh, you're obstructing by not answering the question, which from like a common parlance, yeah, that's kind of like obstruction. You're not answering the question. But from a legal sense, that's not obstruction. You just have to differentiate between the two, because it sounds like Wick is talking about just like not cooperating, which is legally separate from obstruction, which
there's a good reason for the stop, frankly, in the first place, or even detaining him in that case. And so I don't, with respect to the lies, I don't know why we would say actively lie to DHS as opposed to...
Yeah, you don't have to lie, just don't talk to them. Exactly.
So like, I just don't understand, like, can't you say all that without saying do obstruction? Because that by its definition seems like it's saying do crimes.
Are you just mad at the word obstruction?
Yes.
Well, I just interpreted that when you say obstruct them, I thought what you were saying is do the crime of obstruction.
Yeah.
And I think that's dangerous because like, oh yeah, cool.
Okay, I'm clarifying then. I'm saying that you should not cooperate. You should lie to them if they're trying to find someone, right? And things like that, because you can't be sure if they're telling you the truth.
Is it warning ICE is coming obstruction? My understanding, when I say my understanding, I might have heard somebody say this, so I don't know. It's tap, rack, bang, and you never remember it. Okay. My understanding is I'm sorry. I heard somebody say there was a court case where they said that warning that ICE was coming is not considered illegal, or warning that the cops are coming is not considered a crime.
I think this goes back to also like when people are in their cars and there's like a cop up ahead and you like flash your lights at them. I think that's been like said to be free speech.
Okay. I don't know for sure what the answer to that is. But it would probably be the case, right? Because you on Google and Waze or whatever, you can see cops on the app, and I don't think that's illegal, right? Otherwise, they wouldn't exist. So.
They've lied too much. And I think you have a moral obligation to let people know when ICE is going to be in the area, where they are going, let people know what kind of cars they're driving, where they're going, all that stuff. You should let people know what they're saying. You should blow your little whistles, right? You should honk your horns. Just make the community aware, because they are currently, I consider them kind of a domestic terrorist organization at this point. I think that they're...
Yeah, I think he
wasn't done. Sorry, my bad. Just real quick.
Yeah, sure. You should record them. And again, these are things that ICE officers themselves have implied and told citizens that are illegal.
Yep.
And if they are,
going down,
right?
Over
if
here.
they are illegal, you should do them anyway.
I went up.
What?
There you go.
Down
so
there
you have it.
Fine,
He is
just
recommending that you should break the law. These things are illegal. This is no different, and I hope that we find the people in the signal chat that I haven't had a chance to talk about yet. I hope the people that are actively coming together in efforts to obstruct law enforcement using, as you hear Wick saying here, he's willing to use violence and intimidation. These are
hold on.
You didn't say that, Rob.
specifically non-violence.
This would be intimidation.
What would?
blowing the whistles, getting in their way, etc., doing what Preddy did. That's
Now, I don't know if Rob argued this or not, but remember, when we came to argue about the definition of insurrection, that intimidation line was fought against, I think it might have been by Rob against me in a debate, where my argument was mass amounts of people that show up with the intention, or with the appearance at least of being hostile, can count as intimidation, and Rob completely refused that. He didn't seem to acknowledge any kind of intimidation at all. Now Rob has the position that simply, I guess, being next to an ICE officer or whatever, or blocking him from another person counts as intimidation, I guess, or basically a threat to do violence. But okay.
Intimidation.
What Preddy did was not intimidation, and only a loser and a fool would call that intimidation.
That is
Only a
so just
coward,
be-
loser, and a fool, a fat little fuck, would call
Whoa,
that
whoa, whoa!
intimidation.
You went
There we
personal
go.
first.
No.
You went personal
Let
first.
him go. I know the big man that wants to tell his audience to go out and break the law and put their bodies on the line, which will lead
I
to
hate
violent
fat on
altercations
fat violence,
with ICE,
man.
wants to call other people names. I don't mind at all. I don't need to
called me a
resort to
coward.
that.
You're getting what?
Yes,
You're getting the same
I
energy
do
you
think
gave
it's
me?
an act. I do think it's an act of cowardice to suggest that other people break the law while you're not doing so. I do think that's an act of cowardice, and it's a dangerous act. And I think that you can see that there is a time where they first push that woman down, that Preddy, gets in the way and puts hands. He's making physical contact with the person, and I
With
think
the woman,
suggesting-
right?
They should watch. They should take a second here and just watch the video, because I don't know how he can let Rob keep saying that. They should just watch the video.
With a woman, right? With a woman?
No, he's making contact with ICE.
It doesn't look
Or
like it's in the
CBP.
video.
It is what it shows in the video. I'm trying to find it
Can
clear.
you show us the frame where you think that he's putting his hands on ice?
Yes,
Maybe
he is
when
making
he's getting beaten. Sorry, it's horrible. I just never been.
Yes, when he's physically intervening, when he sees them push them down,
Hey,
he
tell you
gets
what, Rob. Here's the thing I'm going to tell you right now, man. Like, if an ICE agent goes and they push your wife down, I will get in the way and I will protect her. I would hope that you would do the same.
I don't give a shit what your appeal to emotion here is.
Is that an
Or
appeal
what
to
you're-
emotion? I'm just
what you're
stating a
saying-
simple
what
fact
you-
of what I
Well,
would
you're
do.
invoking his wife. You're invoking his wife, and you're basically
Let it happen.
you're invoking his wife,
So
basically
if you
saying
were
he's not a
there,
real man.
if you were there on January 6th, and there were times where officers you thought were going over the line, would you have got in between the officers and them?
Yes.
I don't believe you.
Well,
I
you
think
don't
you're
have
full of
to.
shit.
I don't care what you
And,
think or believe.
and otherwise, you can try to defend yourself here. What you're doing is grotesque, and probably is a violation of YouTube
Hold on, by
standards.
telling people
I
to
gave you a chance. I
stop-
gave you a chance. I'm going to
Hold
go ahead
on.
and say my piece. I can
Okay,
control
thank you.
myself, unlike you. I don't need to resort to the little petty bullshit you're saying and interrupt. It's
You
probably a
called me a
violation.
coward.
It's
Wait,
probably a
wait,
violation of
just let Rob talk.
It's probably a violation of YouTube standards to recommend that your audience breaks the law. Now, I just wanted you to recant because I don't want anything bad to happen to you, but to the point where you're telling people to actively engage in the types of behavior like we see with these iSignal chats, which there quite literally could be a RICO standard or a RICO case that will be built
Oh
because there
my
are people
God.
actively instructing people on how to obstruct ICE, something that you're recommending. You're also saying that the things like
Conservatives are the
blowing
biggest
whistles in
soys in
their
the
ear,
world.
Yeah, when it comes to their shit, they sway the fuck out.
screaming at them, shouting at them, honking at them, and you would even go as far as Preddy and other people that at times, depending on the situation, you would prevent them from arresting people, shows that you were willing to use what would be tantamount to intimidation. You can't put your hands on ICE. You can't prevent them from arresting people. That is not your place. And to recommend to your audience while you're not doing it that they do that makes situations like what just happened yesterday more likely to occur. And it is despicable. I think it's one of the worst things that streamers could do is to tell people to give them advice to either break the law or to put themselves in harm's way. I find it disgusting, and I hope that you change your tack and tell your audience that that's an absurd thing and that you apologize for suggesting it.
Wait. Before you answer, I just want to make sure that I understand. It could be. I'm just telling you. When I heard you say that, when you said "and you will be arrested," it sounded like you were advocating for doing something that would constitute breaking the law. But as I'm hearing you describe the conduct, all this stuff seems like it's legally protected. Recording.
Yeah, and
I think
but keep in mind, even though it's legal protected,
You can
ICE
still be
will
arrested.
arrest
Yes,
you.
no, that's
ICE
what
will
I'm-
still arrest you. And like, for example, in what was it, Metropolis Blitz
Yes.
operation in Chicago, where they brought in, I think 15 cases have gone through and been settled. Out of those 15 cases, you know how many convictions they got?
Yeah,
Zero.
I understand, but
Zero.
There's a way to interpret what you're saying, or what you're basically saying is it's your
Have
duty
they
to
really
do these
not
things
thought
and
of
obstruct.
the fact that like he who saves his country violates no laws?
What do you mean if they're not
And
thought
what
of
Wick
the
is
fact?
advocating for is saving of the country, so they couldn't violate a law here.
Well, I don't know what you're saying exactly. What do you mean?
It is a meme.
Oh, no, I get it. Okay, never mind, I got it. How do conservatives contend with that? Did they just say Trump was trolling when he said that, or
Probably. I haven't seen him say anything.
like
about
that's a crazy? I don't know. Yeah, nobody cares about it. It's all just a joke, I guess. Yeah.
In the more layman
you have a
sense
moral obligation
of,
to do these
of
things.
not cooperating, of doing what you're legally protected in doing that are covered by First Amendment, for example, going to locations in the public, telling people where to go on locations in the public, and filming things in the public. Now, that's a way to interpret. Lying, I'm not sure if that would be specifically protected, to be honest with you, but certainly like not cooperating, I'm not sure. But is it the case, you're not advocating for law breaking, are you?
Law breaking? I'm advocating for look, I don't know the law. I'm advocating for doing what's morally right, morally just. And I gave specific things that I want people to do, and I think are good to do, because I think
Like, here's a question. Let's say we win the midterms. hold on. I'm trying to think now. Worst case scenario. What actually changes? Because in my mind, Republicans would stop going along with Trump, but like Trump he already doesn't use Congress for anything. Like the question would really be, are they going to impeach him? Because otherwise it's just
yeah, I mean they'll impeach him, but it's going to be like a show, right? They don't have the Senate to get rid of him.
That's what I mean. Well, that's what I mean. I mean like convict in the Senate, obviously, like a full impeachment. Because if they don't, because if they're not willing to impeach him, then we have 3 more years of this.
Welcome to Chud, Steven. We welcome you. Nothing ever happens, actually.
These are the only things that will actually calm the situation down and lead to less death and less violence. The more people who record these people, right? The more people who record the grotesque, brutal beatings of American citizens that Rob Noer is defending, right? The more people who see that, the more likely it is that ICE agents will, again, be defunded, be disbanded, and face justice. Maybe not in this administration, but in the next. I think it is very clear, right? That, again, if you see someone brutalizing...
Can you explain real quick the process of impeachment for us? So impeachment is a thing that technically... Hey, not cool. I am a humble item gatherer, okay? You're killing me. You're killing me. You're shooting at me and killing me. Why?
You're killing my friend! I could kill you! I'm behind you! I could have killed you! You're killing my friend, man! Let him go! Alright, he fucked off.
Okay.
Thank you. No, you're killing me now!
You're killing my friend now. Why? Why are you doing this? Stop. Why do you have to do that? Stop. We're just trying to collect items. It's my Friday off. I'm off of work. This is my only day.
Who's killing who? What's up with all the killing? Wait, we got away.
I didn't get away.
I'm away.
Run, Mooten. You don't want to do this.
Run into the metro.
Wait, they're talking to me. It doesn't have to be this way. Shredder, save me. Shredder!
Did the shredder kill you or did someone?
The Shredder did, but don't worry, I'm crawling. Hold on. They'll never get me. Now the Shredder is really
This metro is
protecting me.
over, by the way.
What do you mean? Oh.
This...
Ooh. Ah! Hold on. I have the survivor kit on, okay? I can last forever.
Okay, I'm on the way.
There's a doctor going around telling people Trump is mostly dying. If it's the guy who's saying Trump is dying from some brain thing, that doctor is fucking stupid. Careful. They're like around in this lobby where I'm at, so. What does this run? We're trying to get back to the peaceful queues because me and Mooten's queues are demonic right now. Satanic queues. Do you have a defib?
Nope.
I'm gonna jump off and you're gonna have to pick me up again, okay? I'm jumping off if I can survive.
Goodbye, Steven.
Do you have the survivor kit?
Nope.
So the one below us is not open?
Nope.
Do you want to sit on this sick couch and die?
And I'm not, yeah. Let's sit on the couch. I can't even get up to the couch, man.
Wait. What about those chairs?
Maybe I can get on these chairs.
Okay, hold on.
Hold on. No, I got up.
Oh, I see. You did the strats. Hold on.
Shit, I'll have to do it again. Yeah, yeah. Just let us die. Hold on. Let me get on the couch and then you can kill me. Just let me die on the couch.
A woman, step in.
And there
All
you
right, go
have-
ahead.
So he's
Oh, sorry. Impeachment is basically okay. So a long time ago, you have this issue to where you're looking at a president. Okay, there are 2 ways to get rid of a leader. One
Kill him.
is he does a crime, and if he does a crime and you convict him of a crime, then you can get him out of office. Or 2, you coup him, you assassinate him, you kill him, right? So there are 2 huge problems with this. One, in a democracy, you don't want to have to assassinate the leader. It's not good.
Not good.
And then 2, if there's a leader who's incredibly politically unpopular and the population really wants him gone, but you need a crime to get rid of him, then it kind of incentivizes like this fabrication of crimes. We have to make up some kind of criminal charge to get rid of him. So our framers designed a middle ground process called impeachment. So impeachment is a political process by which the House and the Senate can decide to impeach and then remove the president from office. So an impeachment requires, I believe it's 2/3 of the House and Senate. The articles of impeachment are introduced in the House. If 2/3 of the Senate, or if 2/3 of the House, I think, agrees on it, then he's considered impeached, and then it moves to the Senate. And then if the Senate agrees, then he's convicted. And then if he's convicted of impeachment in the Senate, then he is removed from office and can no longer. It might be a simple majority in the House and 2/3 in the Senate. But if he is convicted in the Senate, then he's removed from office and is no longer able to hold office again in the future. So sometimes people will say he was impeached, but he wasn't removed from office. And what that means is that he was impeached in the lower house, the House of Representatives, but he wasn't convicted in the upper house or the Senate. So he was impeached but not removed from office. This is what happened to Bill Clinton.
That happened to Trump twice and Clinton, I believe, once.
Correct.
Acknowledging that he's calling for the physical obstruction of law enforcement. If he sees them, quote, brutalizing women, he admits he doesn't know what the law is, and yet he's recommending people to do this, which on its own right is something that's dangerous. And
Hold on, if you see 3 ICE agents raping a woman, you should stop them?
Please let me finish.
Yeah,
Well, I'm just asking, do you think if you see
Wait, but
3
let him
ICE
finish.
agents
You can
raping
ask
a
that.
woman,
We'll
do you
get-
think people should stop them?
Please let me finish. I know you have
We'll get an answer to
question.
it. We'll get an answer to it, but we'll get an answer to it. But just let him respond, and then we'll get an answer to it.
I know the big man that can't control himself that's recommending his audience on YouTube breaks the law, can't control himself.
More
I'll get to answer
fat
his
on
question
fat
when he sees fit
violence.
to ask it in a way where he allows me to finish my point. Nonetheless, you can see that he is recommending, he says he's been very specific. He hasn't. He said things like you should stop the brutalization of a woman. Many times what he would consider brutality wouldn't be something that's illegal, and he's recommending that people make those judgments themselves and actively interfere with ICE's apprehensions of suspects that are women. This is ludicrous, and once more, he's a coward because he's recommending that his audience put their bodies on the line while he's unwilling to do it. Wick, if you really feel so strongly about this, why don't you head to Minneapolis?
Yeah, I'm
if you're
gonna
going
ask
to
my
recommend that
question
your
again.
audience does it,
I'm
why
going to
don't
ask
you
you my
go?
question again until you answer it. If you saw 3 ICE agents raping a woman, would you stop them, or
Jesus.
would you stop them, or at least try to record them and get them and report them to
Rape
the
analogy.
local police, something, right?
Yes.
Yes, you would
That's
do that.
different than-
Excellent.
okay,
What if you see them going and just punching them in the face? You
that
see
analogy-
3 ICE agents pinning a woman down, kicking her in the face, taking a tear gas canister, bashing her head in the side. You see blood, and one of them pulls a gun and points it at her back. What are you going to do in that situation?
I probably wouldn't interfere. Now let me ask you some questions, Wick. What would
Are
you
you
do?
not gonna
What
answer
would
that
you-
question?
I said I probably.
He
wouldn't
answered it.
interfere.
He
Let me
answered
ask
it.
you some
Wait,
questions.
wait,
Now let me
wait,
answer-
wait,
now let me answer-
Wick, he answered the question.
Okay,
Yeah.
what's your
Now, what would you do? What would you want done to a cowardly YouTube streamer that is recommending that his audience break the law, justifying it by using absurd hypotheticals like it's basically the same as me saying I would stop 3 ICE agents from raping a woman? What would you think should happen to that person? Should they A, be held legally accountable, and B, should they be kicked off of platforms like YouTube for advocating that their audience put their lives in jeopardy by intentionally breaking the law?
By intentionally breaking the law.
Correct, which is what you suggested.
Interesting. I think that I said specifically that the things you should do are 1,
Why
record
haven't
ICE.
you- why
Is that
don't
against the law?
Wait,
No,
wait,
we're gonna go one at a time.
the
Is recording ICE against
question wasn't whether or not you in fact did those things. What should happen to someone who does those things? And
It
what's your answer?
depends. Like, honestly, like, for example, I'll give you an example. If YouTube existed in the days of slavery and someone was advocating that you help free slaves, even if that was illegal, I don't think anything should happen to that.
Wait, I'm curious. Is telling somebody to break the law against the law? I don't think it is it? Like, if I tell you you should steal from Walmart, is that a crime?
Well, what if Trump told you to go and march on the Capitol building?
Well, he wasn't charged for that.
Well, no, but he was gonna be.
No, he wasn't.
Jack Smith said he would be.
No, he
would have.
No, so what the indictment was for was the overall conspiracy related to January 6th. What you're talking about relates to incitement of a riot, and there's like a very particular, very difficult standard to overcome there. It's a two-pronged test. It's called the Brandenburg test, basically, whether or not I think the violence would be imminent and whether it's foreseeable, basically. So, like, do you know it's foreseeable? Like, do you know that if you say something, it's going to cause something to happen, and then is it, like, close in time and place or whatever? So like if I were to tell all my audience right now, like, go to your nearest police station and go murder cops, go do it right now. And I know there are people in chat who might, I keep saying it whenever somebody does it. Like, I think, or even if somebody doesn't do it, you might be able to charge me for like the crime of incitement there.
Got it.
But if you tell somebody to just like, but I think incitement only has to be like violent crime, I think. Or maybe it doesn't, actually. I'm not sure. I don't know. I don't know what the laws are in terms of like telling somebody to commit a crime, if that's an illegal thing or not. I have no idea. Solicitation? Maybe, okay.
That's not what the word.
So it depends on, so the question is,
we're talking hypotheticals. That's what
the answer is it
The answer
depends.
is what?
The answer is it depends on the specific advocation for what
Yeah, it
crimes.
depends on the
Oh,
application
hey, I'm
of the
getting
law
lit the
that
fuck up.
you're advocating to
We're
break.
friendly, brother.
I do not think law and morality are the same thing, and I think that sometimes if a law is odious, that you have a moral obligation to break that law. It would have been the law.
Oh, wow.
So if right
You
wingers
disagree
go
with that?
online,
I don't
if right
disagree.
wingers go online and recommend people breaking the law on YouTube, as long as they have a claim that they feel that law is immoral, you're okay with it.
That's
So,
exactly what
to be
Trump
clear,
did, by the way.
And this is another thing I know.
Moot, talk to them. Be
I'm
nice.
dead.
Just say nice things to them.
Can I just listen? It's literally my only day off.
Don't sound
I'm
white.
trying to get fucking home. Hey, brother.
There you
It's
go.
my day
There you
off,
go. There you go.
brother.
There you go. There you go.
If you kill me, it's not good for you, brother.
Well, now that sounds like a threat. Okay, there's a guy sniping me from the other end. Can you crawl to me? Crawl to me. See me? Oh, right over here. Fuck, there's a guy over there. He's not friendly. Oh! I'm sorry, Moot. Good luck. Good luck, brother. Good luck, brother. Good luck. Good luck, brother.
And the problem is these guys fucking suck.
I know. That's okay. That's good, though. That means we're moving towards more peaceful pastures, okay? We're moving towards better cues, Mooten. Just, you gotta believe. Shh.
I
Or
just hit
as well
level
as nonviolence.
75.
Yes! You did it!
As
I
Pisco
did it.
said, is that I am anti-deplatforming. I think that your First Amendment rights are so important to me that you can go on and you can advocate for law breaking, and I don't think you should be deplatformed.
That's
Right-wing, left-wing,
that's First Amendment, though.
center-wing.
But that's First Amendment, and I agree with you on that. I think Wick has done nothing criminal.
Wouldn't telling someone to do a crime be conspiracy to commit a crime? I think for conspiracy, the term I think is meeting of the minds. You have to be like in active communication with each other. Like like both of you have to be like in direct communication with each other. It wouldn't just be like to a crowd or whatever.
In what he did, and I think that would be against
Maybe
any.
I would disagree. Maybe someone will send in a
Well,
fucking tip.
I would
Maybe.
be very much against that. I think that everything that Wick has
Are
done
you,
here has been,
to be clear, Rob, you don't have to just imply it. You can just say, right, what you think. Do you think that, are you going to send in a tip to me?
No.
Are you going to try to get me deplatformed?
No, I told you. In fact, I want the opposite. I wanted you to stop this dangerous rhetoric. I don't want you deplatformed at all. Nor
Why
would
is
I
my
ever send
rhetoric
in
dangerous?
I'm gonna start
because you were
bringing,
suggesting
hatch
the
keys, too.
reason that Preddy is dead
So we
is
can get
because
out
he took
sooner.
the exact advice that you're suggesting.
That's
That
not
he,
true.
yes,
That's
it
not
is
true.
true. What happened was he was part of a group, right, that decided they were going to intentionally obstruct the efforts of
Is there any evidence for this thing? I've heard like this weird alluding to like there's a signal chat, the signal chat. Have you heard this talking point?
I've heard about many a signal chats. I saw some retard on there being like, I've infiltrated all the signal chats and I'm going to be reporting everybody to the FBI for a RICO case.
Okay. Because, like, one thing I don't like, and it's hard because you sound like a loser on this talking ground, but, like, it's true, is that, like, being part of a signal chat can mean a whole bunch of different things, right? Like, imagine there's, like, crazy shit happening, and then some guy finds out that he was part of, like, a Discord server that was, like, planning crazy shit. But imagine the Discord server has, like, 20,000 people in it, right? Like,
It's like being a part of the Facebook group that, like, quote unquote, stormed Area 52.
sure, yeah, like, what, like, when we say part of a chat, what do we mean by that? I don't know how big signal chats can get, but like Telegram groups, aren't those like infinitely long? Like you're gonna have as many people in a Telegram group? I don't know, maybe signal chats are the same or, you know.
ICE. They were doing so by doing things like constantly surrounding them, blowing rape whistles and shit like that in their ear, intervening on when they were trying to apprehend or prevent a woman from blowing that whistle in their ear, standing in the middle of the street, preventing them from lawfully executing the law. He decided to get in the way while he was knowingly armed, and that leads to escalations that will predictably allow to people dying. That's what happened with Renee Good as well, because they are taking your advice. You go even further and say, not just that people should film, but that they should, quote, break the law and obstruct and prevent and lie, and prevent them from being able to execute their law. You do so from the comfort of your own home. I would not call in the tip. I'm strongly suggesting that you refrain from saying these things. I think
I can't
it's
refrain from
grotesque.
saying these things because me refraining from saying
Of all this is why Trump should be hated more than anything else, okay? This motherfucker breaks the law every single second of his life, okay? He could say anything, do anything. Why don't we know anything about Area 51? Why can't Trump just tell us? This motherfucker declassified the Amelia Earhart files. Can he please just tell us what's in Area 51?
The sad reality is there's probably nothing.
Yeah, I know, but
That's why.
he could at least say that. I went and I looked, and there's nothing there, guys. It's just boring spy
But
planes.
that would just make people think that, like,
I don't care. I just want to hear it.
Because if Trump
These things
said
would be
that,
an
I'd be like, oh, no, there's some shit there. Oh, he's lying.
No, I would believe him because he only lies when it like serves his fucking ego, and I don't think he has any reason to lie about that. Like, I think if there was cool shit there, I think he would say it because he'd want everybody to come talk to him about it.
of cowardice. These are things that I believe, and I have a habit. If I believe something, whether you like it or not, I am going to say something. I think that people need to hear these things.
You're
And
not a
Freddie
coward.
did
You
not
have to admit
die
that.
because he quote unquote followed my advice. He was recording ICE. He was doing nothing illegal. He was doing no obstruction. He was not trying to interfere with law enforcement in any illegal way. He was not trying to intimidate them. What he did was he saw a woman being pushed repeatedly by ICE agents. He went in to stand between them. The ICE agent pepper sprayed him in the face.
I'm on the way.
He tried to help that woman up. They
Drop
dragged
him?
him back
I don't know if
in.
you needed
They
that.
beat him. They pinned him to the ground. They took a gas canister and jammed it into his face several times. They disarmed him, and then they shot him in the back. Those are the facts of the case. Those are the facts of the matter. And frankly, it is shameful. It is both cowardice for you to suggest otherwise, to lie to your audience, to lie to me, to lie to Pisco, and say that the facts are anything other than what I just listed out. I just listed out things that are verifiable, that we can watch on video, that we can see from multiple angles. And not only you, the DHS, but this administration has blood on their hands because what you are doing is you're preventing these officers from being held accountable, so they will continue to act the way they are because they cannot be held accountable. And this administration has signaled that they will not even investigate. So fuck you. I hope
oh
that
my
you
goodness.
repent.
Your
Bosh
performative
rant.
outrage means nothing to me. You claim
I know,
you're not a
nothing
coward.
means
Let him
anything.
wait, let him respond.
Your performative outrage.
I
means
just got
nothing.
killed
You're a
again, dude.
coward of
Why?
the utmost.
Stop
I appreciate
dying.
recommending that
Just
your
people
audience breaks
keep-
laws that
they're
you're
just-
Hold
unwilling
on,
to do.
hold
If
on.
you're so outraged, you could have gotten your way after the Renee Good shooting to Minneapolis, but you don't because you're a coward.
Stop.
You want
Why
to
did
do
you
what
kill
all of these other
him?
lefties want to do,
You
which is to
killed
make this situation
him!
likely to have martyrs, so that the political outcome that you want of stopping ICE from lawfully enforcing the law can be achieved. And you know, by setting out and saying that people should rely on their own judgment.
Stop,
When they think ICE is
don't,
going
guys,
to enforce
stop.
the law,
Trust
and
me,
then
trust
break
me, you don't
the
wanna
law
do this,
obstruct
trust
them,
me,
that
trust me.
That's likely to lead to violent confrontations with law enforcement. You're fine with that. The truth is, you want people like Preddy to die. You want people like Renee Good to die. You would fucking love it if someone in your own audience took your advice, went and obstructed ICE, and then was killed, so that you can make yourself the center of the story, and you would be able to then further go on and say this was more evidence as to why ICE should be disbanded. You are despicable. You are someone that I think, if we could have differing opinions or whatever, in fact, you don't even know what my opinion is on this shooting. You don't have a fucking clue. I talked to Pisco about it. You don't know, right? But the fact is, no matter what, I've never suggested that people actively go out there and put themselves in harm's way because they should do things that I think are illegal, but I would consider moral and obstruct law enforcement. There are tons of things that I thought were outrageous and immoral. For example, the FACE Act, locking up people that were pro-life protesters. Show me once ever suggesting that people should put their bodies on the line to prevent the execution of that law that I thought was illegal or immoral. It is evident that what you're doing is incredibly dangerous. It may or may not rise to the level of a crime, but it's something that you should be ashamed to do. And your tough guy routine of calling me a coward and saying, but what if they were raping women? Fuck you. You don't have shit all to say when we see all sorts of other actions that occurred in other administrations that we can't about. You never said shit about this. The truth is, you're a political hack. You want people to be harmed. You want them to get in harm's way. And as long as people like you spout off your fucking mouth, it makes it inevitable that ICE is going to continue to have these confrontations with people, and inevitably some of those will result in levels of violence, which again you will thrive on. I think that everyone that's watching this, even Pisco, understands that what you're
Okay,
saying.
I'm not trying to rag on Pisco right now, okay? But I don't know what it is about his stuff. But why do I feel like every time there's a debate or something on Pisco stream, I feel like there's so much meta stuff and no ground is covered. Am I just being biased right now, or like have we gotten to talk about anything? Like what? I feel like we should have brought up a video and gone over the facts of something. It's just like two people kind of like doing these pleas back and forth. Like
They don't give a fuck, dude.
It's very fucking dangerous.
Here's-
The fact that
here's
you
the
want to
problem.
imply that somehow
Here's-
makes
here's
you
the problem
some
you
strong
have.
guy. If you were really not a coward,
This
you
is
would
the
be.
problem.
actually, wait, I can just fast forward. I
Like
suppose.
at the like, I don't know your station. No, you went on a whole spiel. No, you can listen. You can.
Laughable. This is the judgment
I
of the
never
person
said I
that's
didn't know
telling
your
people.
stance.
Okay, now
who's
wait,
also getting.
Why are you lying about what I'm
let
saying?
Wick
Hold on, no, I'm not gonna let him lie about what I just said.
let Wick continue. You answered the question, and Rob says that that's not accurate. But
And this is the thing, like he lied just now. You all saw it about what I said.
What's the lie?
Right?
What's the
That he claims that he doesn't know my stance or whatever. Right?
That is what you
Well,
said.
you know-
I said, in
You
fact,
said
I said,
Wait,
in fact, please shut up, Rob. You just can't control yourself, and I understand you're upset. You're angry that you're being
I thought you
righteously
said
called out.
I thought you said that you didn't know it for
Apologize.
sure, but you could infer it. I thought that you did say that.
Yes,
But-
I can infer it.
I
Absolutely.
didn't lie.
never know anything
I didn't
for
lie.
sure.
You absolutely lied. But let's continue.
Smug.
Pisco's not lying.
Here's the
No, I
problem.
don't think it's a lie. I
that
don't think it's a lie. Go ahead, sir.
Guys, Wick,
No, but that's
you
that's
lied on righteous.
Hold on, are you
that's
okay?
an
You're gonna have a heart
Rob,
attack?
that's
Or you're gonna let me finish? You're
Rob,
gonna
that's an
filibuster?
ancillary point. That's an ancillary point. Okay, but go ahead, Wick.
You gonna filibuster? You're gonna keep.
Wick,
trying
respond to
drown
him.
me
All
out?
right,
You
let's.
know,
We
let me
want some
go.
constructive dialogue. Go.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's possible to have actually constructive dialogue with Rob. To be clear, this kind of war and over ramming the car at all. It showed him getting out and just fucking shooting into her. And guess what happened to that officer? Nothing. He's still on the streets. He hasn't even been given, to my knowledge, any sort of reprimand. They're just going around unaccountable to the public, not being investigated. Nothing is happening to these people. So until they are held accountable.
Wick, without you filibustering, Wick,
Yeah, just
Wick,
a
how
question
would
and
you
answer.
treat how would you treat someone that was a convicted pedophile? How would you treat them?
With disdain.
What's that mean? You would just say, I don't like you, that's it?
Well, I wouldn't let them around my kids. I
Okay, and
wouldn't
if they
invite
were
them
in
to
public,
Thanksgiving
if they were
dinner.
coming up to you
I
and your
wouldn't.
family,
I wouldn't.
what would you do?
I wouldn't.
Wouldn't do violence on someone that was raping someone?
Well, that's different. What by virtue
well
of
then,
wait,
okay.
wait,
So the question is-
that's different. What is the by virtue of?
I will answer. So the idea that when he says that I would treat them like a convicted pedophile or a terrorist, and then saying, oh, but perish the thought,
I
you
didn't
should
say
think that would mean some. Pisco, did he earlier say
I
domestic
said they
terrorists?
are domestic terrorists. I didn't say I'd treat them like a terrorist.
Oh, okay.
Those are different
nonetheless,
things with different
I think that it
implications,
is. I
different
think that the implication is clear, especially given what you said prior, that you're advocating for using violent actions or
Do you really think that
intimidating
Rob
actions.
specifically said
I'm gonna
nonviolence.
finish
I keep
my point.
repeating
I'm gonna
myself,
finish
and you
my
keep
point.
lying about what I'm saying.
I'm going to finish my. Construct, you should be illegal, and then you tried to save him. He's going to be like, well, what do you really mean illegal? And he's like, well, I don't know what the law is. Now, the full context here, you can see how unhinged and hyperbolic he's now saying that you should treat ICE and CBP as pedophiles, which you could get a little
Hello,
look
friend.
into Wick's sort of, mental acuity there, and whether or not he's able to approach these things dispassionately.
Which one?
Look at how he jumps on and accuses me of lying. Or even Pisco.
You
has to
have
believe that
lied.
See it? I'll tell you.
Repeatedly.
I think I actually do. Oh, I
then
actually
he goes on
don't.
to
Here
talk
you
about
go.
the Fourth Amendment. Look,
Thank
you
you,
might
then.
have a strong opinion that this memo was something that would be against the Fourth Amendment. The courts have not weighed in on it. The question is not as simple as you would see. Oftentimes, people are quite positive that
Am I what?
Secret grenade. Check it out. You need it?
Let me check. Hold on. Do you need this one?
Tell
Wait.
him.
You don't mind. No. I already have that.
Nope. I don't need this either.
Keep it in the cells.
Good luck.
Okay.
Fucking losers. All right, I'm hatching out. Let's go.
the law is on their side, and then the Supreme Court disagrees. Pisco's quite positive that the Supreme Court's on his side when it comes to issues such as birthright citizenship. What if the court disagrees? Should Pisco have been out there preventing people from being removed, etc., under this interpretation? That would be absurd. The truth is that you're sort of standing up and...
Let's respond to your substantive point, which is kind of like...
I'm waiting for a substantive point to be frank.
No, he had a point there, which is essentially that he's accusing you of hedging. And basically, you said what you said about illegality, and now you're kind of... Like, I happen to agree with you on that point. That 12...
that he saw of other
See, they're getting friendlier, Mooten. They're getting friendlier.
All three of us know that's bullshit. What I'm telling you is, I didn't even hear that. You go back, watch my show. I didn't even hear of what Wick said. And I said, give him the benefit of the doubt. He didn't say. He probably didn't say.
First, Second, and Fourth Amendment rights. I think that they're engaged in Eighth Amendment violations of cruel and unusual punishment as well. I'm advocating for the law to be upheld.
Okay, but deal with the Rob's point about the Wick decide standard, right? The Wick decide, like, people could say that
Also,
about...
I don't outsource my decision making to anyone. Yes, of course, I'm going to use my own judgment. Of the law. Absolutely, I'm going to use my own judgment. Do you not?
No, I don't consider myself the arbiter solely of what's legal and what's not.
I consider myself the arbiter of what is moral for me.
Quote, I don't know the law. It's laughable. The truth is, he's advocating for obstruction of ICE carrying out the law because he thinks that the deportations and the way they're doing it are illegal, correct?
Yes, I do.
There you go. So he's advocating for the
hold on. The deportations may or may not be illegal. I don't know, but the way that they're doing absolutely is not only illegal, but more importantly, let me finish. More importantly, it's immoral.
Okay, don't care about the morality. Your opinion on the morality. So, one, 4 standards for an insurrection, according to you, Pisco, was that it's a
assemblage, use of force, or intimidation.
Are you recommending people assemble?
No, but he could say.
I said, hold on. Again, assemble to do what? I say, if you see ice, okay, and I'll say it again. You get out your phone. You hit record. If you see ICE and they come up and they ask you, hey, where's the Spanish population? Where's the immigrant population? You ain't seen nothing. That's the specific things I'm calling for.
Was Rob
pro
J6 or anti-J6?
I think he was probably like anti in that it was like a riot, but not like insurrection type thing or whatever.
Okay. He doesn't think it was an insurrection?
No, of course not. None of them do.
Wall.
Have you read Kanye's apology ad? Paints a picture of how bipolar people slip into mania. Yeah, I thought it was a good write-up. Did you read that earlier?
I did.
Yeah. The sad thing...
I'll only forgive him if he releases another good album.
Fuck you. Oh my god, you virtue signaled so hard on stream. What did you say?
What did I do? Oh, Yeezus is good. It's a good album.
No, that's not what you said, though. You said, I'll like him if he releases another college dropout. Like, you're not a fucking...
No.
Like, you're not looking for Yeezus 2.0.
I said graduation.
Or whatever. Graduation. Whatever. The reality is, you want another Yeezus. You want another Yeezus.
I'd take another Yeezus.
Unreal. Unbelievable. You're worse than... You're the Ryan Macbeth of fucking Kanye West.
Hating Yeezus is the soy take, by the way. You should re-listen.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'll get right on that, okay? Oh. Yeah, the problem with mental illness that doesn't involve... one day I'll learn the words for this, but it's not this day, and I never will, actually. But there's like, when you have like psychoses, you can like actually hallucinate auditory and visual stuff. So you're seeing stuff that's not there, you're hearing stuff that's not there. But you can also have like strong feelings or convictions that aren't real as well. And the thing that sucks about being manic is your emotions and your convictions for the things that you want to do. Even though you're not necessarily having like hallucinations, the convictions that you have about the world are just as strong and real and scary and dangerous. And I guess I'm backseating, but like in my mind, it was very, very obvious for a long time. And you can go back, I'm not even hindsighting this, like I said this so much in my stream, it's very obvious that Kanye West is having like a ton of mania, and the people around him, I think, are unfortunately leeching off of that. Like people like Candace Owens were feeding into it, and it was hard for him to have good friends. But then I also said, I can't imagine being the richest black man in all of history, and then arguably at times being the most popular musician in person on the entire planet. How do you tell a person like that, bro, you're getting a little bit out there. Yeah. You're being a little manic. Like, that's... I can't even imagine. Not many people...
Well, even if he had good friends, he probably wouldn't even listen to them.
Yeah, once you are manic, it's very hard to. Yeah, so like...
So he just got yes people around?
Yeah, that's a very, very, very rough one for him, yeah.
Do you hear an assembly there?
Yeah, so I'll go further. I think you're...
Okay, so you hear an assembly there. Just to be clear, you think that me saying these things is me calling for an assembly?
I think that you've gone further to say...
Okay, no, answer my question.
No, but it's not explicitly calling for an assembly.
Yes, it's not calling for an assembly at all.
Of course he is. He's going to lie now. He'll lie now and say that he's not calling for it. He said specifically, he didn't just say...
You're lying about it.
Wait, let him respond.
Yeah, you can kill the ticks.
Why is he calling for an assembly?
He didn't say just like, he said that you should get out there. You should follow them. You should record them all. You should prevent them.
Yeah, that's not an assembly, right?
Yes,
of course it's not assembly.
Groups of people do that.
So you're saying
it's not assembly. No assembly has been called for.
Oh, so you don't think that you're
Can I do that all on my own?
Hey, should we all go out there and protest?
Can I do that all on my own by myself?
I just want to be clear. Theoretically,
But I'm asking you a question. Do you think that I can do all those?
I think it's also super gross that like Rob is hardcore wrapping himself in like the letter of the law, process and procedure here. But when it came to all the Trump insurrection shit, like he's so much more loosey-goosey with everything. But what the fuck ever, whatever.
These people don't give a fuck.
Yeah, about anything.
things that I mentioned on my own by myself. Right.
Somebody-
Wait, Rob, let Wick have a sentence to clean up what he just said, and then Rob can respond. Okay?
I'm leaving. Good
So
luck.
this idea, right, that he and this has been throughout this
do this whole thing.
where he has had to
All
insert
the
things
seeds?
that I didn't say. He's
Yeah,
had to
I want
lie
seeds.
about what I actually said. He has to pretend that I didn't say things that I did say in order to try to force like this point that I have somehow done something cowardly.
One
or
sentence, yeah,
immoral,
here.
Yeah.
or
Run
gross,
on here.
or
So,
disgusting.
Rob, respond to
And what
that,
I'm
please.
saying,
Wait,
and what, no, let me finish. 'cause
Well,
I
there we
didn't
go.
want
Once
that.
this is-
Just finish up real quick, and then
What
Rob
I'm
can respond.
saying, and I want to be very clear, is I'm not calling for an assembly, and the fact that he thinks I did is laughable.
I don't think it is, but
That I'm not
Rob-
calling for
Rob
violence.
respond.
I specifically called
He did
not
say
for
that, yeah.
violence.
Yeah.
It's just
But you did
crazy.
call for. I think a reasonable person listening to that thinks that you're calling for obstruction and the crime of obstruction. Now, I'll take you at your word because of your reputation for being against violence, and I think it's.
Like, he is telling his audience that things are so bad that these are.
This is such a snoozer of a convo.
Yeah.
Wait.
That's what you're doing.
Wait,
And
these
you're
are-
doing-
Right? Never, nowhere will you find me a clip of me ever saying that. Rob is simply
and
they are beat.
stuff where there's an inherent danger, and I think Rob wouldn't have a problem with you advocating for that for like peaceful protest or whatever, even though it's dangerous. Lying and preventing egregious, perhaps.
That's the example on what I'm using is because that would pass the line where like, okay, I'm now sure enough that I think intervening is an obligation.
So that's an example of like kind of
Intervening
minimum
can go in
threshold.
several different ways. I'm not
Okay.
telling. Again, I'm very careful and I'm very, very clear to say, do not do violence. Right? You intervene.
Unless in those
and you can
cases.
intervene.
Wait, you don't think it would
in
be
the rape
violence to
case, you
prevent
might.
that?
In the rape
Okay.
case specifically, you might. Okay.
Okay.
You might need to.
So there is some amount of violence, but only in the egregious moments where it
yes.
rises to a certain level of depravity.
Yes, where it
Okay.
passes a threshold. Mhm.
And that threshold
Okay, so
is
then
quite
my
severe.
question
but-
is, I think he's being dishonest.
Yeah.
Okay,
We haven't
all
gotten
right.
to all your lies, bitch.
Wait,
Shut up.
wait.
Keep going.
I think you're being dishonest. I can prove it. Was
Okay,
Freddie
okay.
justified to
Yeah,
intervene?
shit.
Was Freddie
Oh,
justified
okay,
to
okay.
intervene for this woman?
Yes, absolutely.
Was she being pistol whipped
Oh
by
my
3 people?
God.
In the way, hold on. In the way he intervened, that was
Was she being
perfect
pistol whipped
intervention.
by
No, let
3
me finish
people?
my
Was she
answer.
being
You're
pistol
gonna
whipped by
let me
3
answer.
people? Was she being
Yes,
raped or
in the
pistol
way
whipped?
that no.
Yes, your answer is
Freddie
yes. She was pistol
intervened
whipped by 3
in a
people.
way that was suitable to what was going on.
So the
Okay,
intervention.
what's going
So you're saying I
was
think you're
not
saying, Rob,
illegal?
is that in this case what he's doing doesn't rise to an obstruction. That what he's doing
Yes, he was not obstructing.
is
That's
legal
what I'm
conduct. Okay,
It's
but
illegal.
that's his view though. I'm saying that's his view.
Should you get in between law enforcement and a woman if they pepper spray and push her?
In the
Sometimes
way
yes,
that Freddie
sometimes
did,
yes,
that was
yes,
perfectly
right?
acceptable. And yes,
I
you
think
should.
that so what you could see is that Wick's interpretation of when it will be excessive force is ludicrous. He would even say this was excessive
Hold on, you
force
think that was
just-
not excessive force, what they were doing
No,
to that
I do
woman?
not think pepper
You don't
spraying
think-
and shoving someone is excessive force.
Jesus. Okay.
You don't even know what she
Well,
did, right?
Okay, yeah, what did she do? That,
How would you
that-
determine? How would you determine if it's excessive?
No,
if you don't know
make
the
me
bit-
answer the question. What did
Yeah.
that woman do that deserved her being to push on the ground multiple times and pepper sprayed in the face?
She was pushed on the ground once at the time that he intervened, and she was pepper sprayed because she was asked to
Okay,
get
what
out.
did she do to deserve that?
Are you going to listen?
Are you
Tough
gonna
guy
answer
who
the
wants to
question?
send people. Yes, I'm answering the question, and you're interfering because you want to be a tough guy and send people to
Tough
break the
guy,
law
I'm
in your
just asking you a
stead.
question, man.
This is like
Then
Dark Wick.
answer.
This is like Exodia Wick. I've never
Sure,
seen this.
it's very dark.
Zodia Wick, I'm simply asking you.
Okay,
what
okay,
did she
okay,
do?
so-
What did, no, can you answer the question, Rob? What did that
Rob,
woman do?
Rob,
that
Rob's answering.
justified
Rob's
ISIS
answering. Let him
pushing her
answer.
down
Yeah,
and pepper
answer.
spraying her?
Let him answer.
She was blaring a rape whistle in an officer that was trying to carry out lawful duties and obstructing vehicles and obstructing the officers. They had the right to pepper spray and
Can you
push
show me
her
that?
away. Yes, watch the
Okay,
video.
show me that.
Okay, just to be clear, there's probably never a case, unless you're like in a violent confrontation trying to arrest somebody. Oh my God, hold on. Who just joined?
Sorry, I'm just telling you there's someone in the waiting room that wants to like talk about why Trump is more evil and stupid. If you want to talk to them.
Oh, no, I don't give a fuck that much.
Okay. Much love, buddy.
Love you. It's every day is a day that I struggle not to Fed post. There is no use of force continuum where it's like shove away a person because they're annoying you. I don't understand. Like, if the officer wanted to detain the woman or arrest her, he can do that. Or if the woman was fighting with the cop and in the process of fighting, he shoved her away, they can do that. But this idea that she was blowing a whistle, so the officer needed to shove her to the ground. Like, what cop training? What do you, why? What the fuck? That's like saying that you're authorized to punch somebody if they're annoying. Like, what are we talking about?
Go ahead.
Yes, watch the video. You deny?
Yeah, I didn't see her blow a whistle once.
You don't think
That's
so?
not- wait. Did you deny it, or do you say you don't know?
I never saw her blew the whistle once. I never saw her
you don't know,
actively
right?
obstructing off.
You're not saying that you know that she
And
didn't.
I'm
You're saying
asking-
that you don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but Rob is saying he does, and I'm asking him
Okay,
to prove
yeah,
it.
fine. Yeah, prove it.
Okay. Let me see here.
Wow.
Now, once I prove beyond a shadow or beyond reasonable doubt that she was doing this, you're going to say, never mind, this was justified and Freddie was wrong?
No, I don't think
Of
that
course
blowing
it
a
won't.
whistle.
It won't. See, so it
justify
doesn't even
officer
matter.
putting her down.
It won't even
But you
matter.
made a claim,
There
and
you
I'm
go.
asking you to
It
back
won't
that
even
up.
matter.
So let's just see if you can back up
It
this.
won't matter. As you
Alright,
can
So
see,
you
it
can't
won't
back up this claim? Is what
matter.
you're
In
saying?
here? Do you see the screen I'm sharing?
Hang on a
hold
second.
on.
I'll-
Yeah.
Oh, that's your fucking stupidity, tough guy.
No, no.
Perhaps you should learn more about
I
that
didn't have it
rather
on.
than telling people to break the law. Yeah.
Okay, I'm watching the stream now.
Hang on, I'm gonna show it so you guys can see. Oh, actually, I can't.
These guys
Oh, who are
hate
you
each
sending it
other.
to?
It's
Yeah.
just-
Which one
it's-
am I?
It's being shared on the Discord.
Okay.
No, sorry, you guys
I'm
can't see it. You can watch on Rob.
See the woman in the orange leaning forward, blowing the whistle?
I don't see a whistle.
She's blowing something. It looks like.
Got her hand in front of her face.
Go.
Someone's blowing a whistle. Was there? Hold on. Was there a whistle in her hand when she did that? When she got pushed?
That's a good question.
It really doesn't even matter. It's good to do the analysis step by step, though. But like, even if she had a whistle, again, if you want to arrest her or something, sure. But the very simple question posed to Rob is like, let's grant all of that. If somebody's blowing a whistle in your face, then the appropriate response for a cop is to just shove the person into the ground. Is that the?
I don't see one. So Rob, are you going to admit you lied?
Oh, uh-oh.
Rob, we can't hear you if you're talking.
It was
Sorry.
very quiet.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Well, Rob?
Oh, his computer, yeah, it's crashed.
Oh, his computer.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
his computer
Okay.
crashed.
No, his computer did
yeah,
crash before.
She was
sure.
blowing a whistle at them. They were trying to get her way, and she was getting in the face.
Was there
of the
a whistle
officer.
in her hand when she got pushed?
I couldn't see. There probably
Yeah, there
was,
wasn't.
unless she dropped it. And
And
We don't know
you
that
said
it's- yeah.
she got
was
pushed.
obstructing justice, blowing the whistle, screaming and getting in law enforcement spaces. They were ushering her off the road where vehicles were trying to aggress them. They were trying to do their job.
So
Yeah, but
you
at the
said
time the
that
force
she
was
had a whistle.
applied, was
Yeah,
that?
I don't think that-
how is that
yeah, that
tailored to
doesn't
the obstruction?
Because it's, as you know, Pisco, it's not just at the time the force was applied, it's what was going on prior. The obstruction that would amount to tantamount to basically physical violence by blowing something in your ear like that.
Oh!
These are the same people who call liberals snowflakes, by
Oh my God, bro.
To the point where they said, okay, get the fuck back, we're trying to do this. And she continues to push forward to the officers, justifies them pushing her.
She wasn't pushing
Far
forward
worse-
to the
far worse
officers.
has
That
occurred.
officer
Far
rounded
worse
on
has
her,
occurred
advanced on
all the
her,
time.
and pushed her.
Yeah, that's right, he pushed her. Far worse, which
To the
occurred
ground, yeah.
all the time, all the time.
Yes, he pushed her. What is the? How is that? Like, how is that okay? It's just not. It doesn't. That's not like
They
a.
don't care.
I know,
dude.
but it's like I'm surprised that Wick or Pisco's. I guess Pisco is just moderating, but like pushing back on that. Like what? The push. So when somebody is. I don't know. Okay, we'll keep listening.
Time that we see in riots, left wing and right wing.
Hold on. Let's stay with this event. You made a claim. I'm asking you to back it up.
Well, he
So
just
far, you
explained
haven't.
it. Well, he explained that the previous actions, although we don't know the time between when that occurred and when the push happened, but it looks like it's. I mean, I'm going to presume it's similar. Close
Like, just to be clear, cops don't have a right to like kung fu you. Like, a cop doesn't have a right to like, oh, if he did this, then you can kind of like beat the shit out of him. A cop can do an investigation, a cop can detain you, and a cop can arrest you. That's all a cop is allowed to do to you. Now, if in the course of detaining or arresting or investigating, you start to physically obstruct him or get into a fight, the cop has a right to use physical force to bring you under control. But a cop can't just punch you or kick you or push you because they're mad at
Because
you.
they don't like what you're saying.
Or
yeah.
to
No, they
make
can't.
you like stop doing a thing like, oh, this guy's annoying, and you punch him or push him. Like, that's not a thing. You're not. This is not like a real thing.
I'm given when the video was taking place and he was recording. But let's just assume that it's like somewhat close in time, at least just for his present purpose. He's saying she wouldn't need to have it in the moment the push occurs, given that the officer like would have known that she did it already, and it's
Oh,
useful
no,
for them
that's
in the future.
that's a silly standard. If she
Yeah,
stopped
respond to
doing
it.
it, the force is no longer justified.
That's bullshit.
No, it's not. That's
Okay,
the
so
fucking
just be
law.
clear. Okay, so to be clear, if she smacks the officer in the face and then just backs up,
She
he doesn't have the
did.
right, and she's still getting in his face to push her.
If she stopped doing the action and is no longer
No, even the analysis. Even if she was doing all of that, like the cop doesn't have the cop can arrest her, or the cop can leave. Like it's not like he's allowed to respond with a judo kick here, a karate chop here. Like that doesn't make any sense. You arrest her or you leave.
a threat, yes, you do
That's
not
not
have
true.
the-
She's still, they're allowed
Again,
to aggress her.
Again,
So, Pisco,
what
is that
about like
law?
what
Is the
if
law
if
someone
she slapped
punches
him
someone?
and then a day later he comes and pushes her?
We're not talking about a day later.
Okay,
The
but we are
analogy's
talking
stupid.
about a time passing, and enough time can pass where
what's
you are
the-
no longer, in your view.
What's the second time?
entitled to
How many
push them down,
seconds?
correct?
So I just want to be clear. Your interpretation of this is
My
punch a law
interpretation of this
enforcement-
is
let me
you
finish.
don't have
I
to
punch-
you don't have to tell me what my
I punch
interpretation
a-
is.
I
I can
punch a
simply
law-
tell you what my
I-
interpretation
I
is.
punch a law
I can tell you.
enforcement officer. I punch a
can
law
simply tell you.
enforcement- I punch a
If
law
I go and I
enforcement-
Wait, let's pause. Wait. Let's
I don't think
okay. All right, Rob, go ahead. So punch an officer and then
I
you walk
punch
away.
a law enforcement officer, and the moment my knuckles slide off his face, now the officers can't do anything.
Okay, are we talking about a punch here?
No, the officer can arrest you if you punch
Yeah,
him.
you can arrest him.
Yeah, they can arrest you. Now, he might attack you in the course of that arrest if you're literally
To get you
fighting.
under control,
But what is
yeah.
Rob arguing? That a cop is allowed one getsy backsy for free? The cop can do one getsy backsy? You hit me, I hit you? Like, what the fuck is he saying here? This is fucking retarded.
Well, no, the principle.
Hold on,
The principle is.
No.
Yeah, I think the principle that Rob is trying to get at is like if it would be justified.
That may apply if she was physically violent, but she did not touch.
Well,
that
then we'll just ask the question: like, if she were actively blowing the whistle at the moment that the push happens, would you think that the push is justified as well as
No.
this? So then, so it's irrelevant. So we're determined. It doesn't matter.
So I just want to be clear. Wick. If someone follows you in perpetuity everywhere and blows that whistle in your ear, you would never be justified to push them, correct?
Of course, after a certain amount of time, it would. But was she following him?
I don't know if you would be. I think it would.
wouldn't be.
I think it would depend. I think if it was a really loud whistle and someone was right in your face and you did it or whatever, you might have some. Maybe that could count as assault or something. But for a cop, like it would be if you're assaulting a cop, then they arrest you. You don't just like push them.
Forever? Was she following him 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 forever? How many times did she blow the whistle, Rob? How many times? How many times did she blow the whistle?
Guys,
How many times did she blow the whistle? Hold on, answer my question. How many times did she blow the whistle?
17 times.
Now answer my question.
17 times?
Yes, now
Yes.
answer my question.
Okay. How many? What was the amount of time that took period? Did she do it 17 times in 10 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second?
Hey, Wick, how many times can someone blow a whistle?
Hold on.
in your
If we
ear?
those 17 times count as the consecutive use of force, just like those 3 bullets for Renee Good, by the way, they should all be counted as one. So those 17 times, right? How long of time passed?
Okay, wait. Okay, hang on. So let's. I have to go in a second, and I want Rob to finish his point, and then we can all like
Steven,
do
I got a
our
good
final
meme that I
statements
wanna
because I
do.
do have to go. But
You have a good meme? Oh, but you think it's
Do you
too...
want this blueprint?
What are you doing?
I'm gonna lock someone in this room.
No, why would you do that, Moot? Moot!
He's not here yet. No one's come.
It's got to be a
Yo,
glitched
I got
room,
a-
right? Sorry,
I
go.
got an anvil BP up here if anybody wants one. 3rd floor. Hello.
No one's falling for your goofy traps, Moot.
Third floor. Top. Up here. God damn it. Sorry, I'm done.
No. Thoughts on Mehdi Hassan engaging in atrocity denial in Iran? No shot is he doing that, right?
Hold on, I'm picking plants. Don't call it.
Well, I'm going to be honest, I haven't dug into the Iran stuff as much. I don't want to back Hassan on anything, Mehdi Hassan on anything foreign policy-wise, because everybody foreign policy on the left of me is just crazy. But I don't know, I don't know where people were getting those Iranian numbers from or how legitimate they are. I don't know. But now I know that it sounds like I'm undermining it a little bit by saying I don't know, but I don't know. That is true. But let me use the restroom real quick. Hold on 1 sec.
Rob, finish your point, and then we can have our final statements.
How many times does someone allowed to blow a whistle in your ear before you're justified pushing them back?
Okay, you can answer quick.
Sure. More than once, less than 1 million.
Okay,
We can't Loki's wager this. I don't know the
That's
exact
great.
estimate,
So Wick-
but I
Wick
can
just-
say, let me answer
Here we
your
go.
question.
Wick just-
Let me answer your question.
you
Stop
answered-
interrupting.
you answered-
Stop interrupting.
I
Stop
want your
interrupting.
answer.
Stop interrupting. Stop
I
interrupting. Let me answer your
you
question. Stop
answered-
interrupting.
I
Let me answer your question. Stop interrupting.
Oh, wait.
Great.
So
So
how
let me
would
answer
you
the
elaborate on that
question,
answer, Wick? Okay, go for it.
I want to elaborate on the
Answer.
answer, please, if you'd allow me.
Wait,
right?
so you said more than one,
The
less than a
fact that
million?
We saw the
Yeah.
video. We saw the video. We don't have to use hypotheticals here. The amount of times that she may or may not have blown that whistle
Rob said 17.
did not justify in any way, shape, or form.
Well, no,
that
if it's more than one, it's more than one and less than a million.
Yep, it meets your standard.
Right?
She's justified pushing.
This is stupid. Guys, can you address the fucking? This is so stupid posturing. This is stupid posturing. Can we just like address the actual before we do the finals? Can you address the actual accusations of each other? Rob, do you really think Wick is advocating for violence?
Yes.
I don't know.
Well,
Okay.
I don't know how else I can say
I mean, you can say-
non-violence.
because
How many
you-
times do I have to say
Wick,
non-violence before you
Wick,
believe me? I don't
Wick,
know.
if ICE isn't acting in a gratuitous acts of violence, should you intervene with violence to prevent them?
Yeah, but you would grant that, Rob.
Again,
Rob, you would grant
there's
that.
a
I'm asking.
Yeah, but you'd
yes or
grant that too. You would as well.
No, the problem
Yes,
is.
if 3 ICE agents were raping your wife, you'd kill them.
There we go. So now that we have this,
You wouldn't?
And he
Would you not?
And he suggested.
Hold on, would you not to stop them?
Would it be against
Would
the
you
law?
let them rape your wife?
Would it be against the law for me to stop them?
No.
Okay, you're
It's self-defense.
advocating for breaking the law. It's your advocacy that we should break the law.
No, I'm advocating
that
to
is
do a
exactly-
certain
you wanna
set of
play
actions
flip? You wanna
that
play
they
flip?
might
Play
arrest
flip?
you for.
You wanna
That
play
might
flip?
be illegal. I don't know.
Rob, you have
Ah.
to grant that. You have to grant that. You have to grant that just because they might arrest you doesn't mean that you're doing anything criminal. because they've arrested people for things that.
He's confessing doing things criminal. He's already suggested he admitted it.
Well, the thing is, I think I'm actually unsure, Wick, and I'm gonna be honest with, like on this point.
Sure.
Are you saying that you should do things where it's like a gray zone legally? Because here's what I think. I think that peaceful protest is enough. There are obviously instances where we can't account for them, where like you would need to intervene, and any reasonable person would, like some of the examples that you're bringing up, and that Robert is even going to grant. But I think that like we should be clear, and I think you are when you say no violence and no force, except in those circumstances. And to the extent that you're talking about obstruction, it sounds like most of what you're talking about is legally protected, but like some of it is not, and that ambiguity concerns me a little bit.
I'm just really curious because I don't know, right?
So I think that it's like anything you're saying, or most of the things that you would say like in a traditional public fora.
What have I said that isn't? I'm just curious.
Oh, I think lying to federal officers might be a crime.
Okay, well, I still think you should in most cases.
You think you should lie
Let me
to
ask you
people?
this. Let me ask you this.
Nice.
In the situation, let's say Preddy doesn't get down. If they tried to then, after they push this one, would he been justified in doing more?
Like, what are they
What?
continuing to do to the woman?
If they were going to continue to go down, try to arrest her, grab her, whatever, and she would have struggled and it would have led to an altercation?
Yeah, that's a good
Is he
example.
justified in doing more? In what way?
To like stop them
Like,
from trying to
Just
arrest
gave
her.
the answer?
Yeah, so
It
the hypo is
really depends on the context. I'd have to
they're-
see what they were doing to give you a straight answer here.
Well, no, just accept the hypo. Don't fight it.
first-
And I think that you should. I think this is a good hypo, and I think this will put to bed the notion that you're advocating for like dangerous advice. So
You're trying to help him, Pisco. You're trying to help him.
how am I helping him? I'm forcing him to
He doesn't
answer
need
the
help me.
question.
I haven't needed help here. I'm just giving you my honest answers. I don't know why.
So
Like
in the
you keep doing
situation,
this thing.
so Rob describes a situation in which they push her down,
Okay,
and
so they push her down.
Yeah, and for whatever
They
reason,
spray her in the face with
Yes,
the thing.
for
They're
whatever-
doing to her what was done to him. Yeah.
I don't think it's a hypothetical.
I'll make it as clear as possible.
Okay.
They pushed her and sprayed her. Let's say she stands back up and they're about to do it again.
They're about to push her again. Then I
Yes.
think that putting his body in the way like he did, that's perfectly legal and acceptable.
But you couldn't touch him. Couldn't touch law enforcement.
You shouldn't touch law enforcement. No.
Okay, so if Preddy touched law enforcement, you'll admit he was in the wrong.
It depends on how.
Well, you said you shouldn't. So if he touched them,
Violently.
you were
I don't think you should do so violently.
So someone what is described, Rob.
Try to-
I think I'm trying to understand. Some of what is described as obstruction might in fact be criminal, but it might be the kind of like criminal
Of course
slash actions which were like the kind of obstructive activities that maybe some civil rights protesters did, putting their bodies in line. Like for example, it's probably criminal to block the highways or some shit. But I'm guessing that's the kind of thing that you would be in favor of, Wick, in terms of civil disobedience type things, right?
A highway specifically.
well,
Maybe
not-
not.
okay, but like
for
maybe a
example,
certain street.
I'll give you an example. Like
Yeah.
when Rosa Parks refused to move in the bus, that was illegal, right?
Okay.
But I think that he should.
Oh my god.
That's because they were fucking based. What are you talking about, Wick?
Yeah, like, where can you at what point were the cops in January 6th too brutal to the protesters?
Well, for example,
I don't think they were.
Against some of the objections of some of the officers, they started to deploy less than lethal munitions, and some officers said that it was unjustified at the time. And these clearly were hitting people that were nonviolent.
Okay, I don't think it's like I don't think you should beat up a police officer or an ICE agent for just merely using tear gas in a fight. riot or
Ever?
something. I don't think
We didn't say about that. We didn't say. We said, did you object? Did you say that was violent?
Did-
you
did-
intervene?
intervene only when it's moral to do so, and I don't think.
No,
in the
we
case of a violent
we
riot,
didn't criticize
it's
that
right-
because that's what I'm saying. Like, we didn't criticize that actually because we thought it was reasonable.
Yeah, I think it was reasonable in those situations for the police to do
I
those
think it
things.
was reasonable for them to do, as ICE officers are being attacked all over this country
Okay.
by people that are
Yeah,
listening
that's
to
a
your
different-
advice,
yeah, that's a different
suggesting
opinion.
they're-
That's what it is.
Right. That's why I don't suggest obstructing law enforcement as they're carrying out their duties. That's the difference. I'm not telling people to break the law. I didn't tell them on January 6th. I didn't tell the people post then when many times I felt that the law was unfairly applied. Never once did I suggest it. Never once did I tell people to actively obstruct. That's what Wick's doing. Something that the coward is unwilling to do himself.
I keep saying I'm willing to do it.
Then go.
No, his prescription wasn't go to places.
No.
Wait, no, his
Yeah,
prescription.
I never
wait,
said
Rob,
to go
you
to
have to deal with that. That was a response. What
Bullshit.
do you mean it's bullshit?
I'm going to explain why. If you think these are literal domestic terrorists, if you think these are people that are so bad they should be treated as pedophiles, and you're watching it, and it's not outlandish, it's not like it's going to cost you millions of dollars, and you could go and do what you're recommending your audience do, and film these people, and obstruct these people, don't tell me you think, don't stand on your fucking high horse and tell me how important you are. And how
You can say
moral
it's a
you are.
ridiculous standard, but he hasn't broken it. Wait,
You're
you can say it's a ridiculous standard, but he hasn't broken it.
At all.
Because you can say it's ridiculous. How's he broken
Okay,
it?
so tell your audience to break the law and then be unwilling to do it yourself.
Wait, no, I didn't advocate to break the law.
Right.
And
He did.
Wick is saying that he's willing to in certain circumstances. All the caveats we've already laid out in certain circumstances.
It is absolute
Within his home.
It is absolute moral cowardice. Absolute moral cowardice to tell your audience to put their lives in jeopardy and to go break the law while you're unwilling to take the quick trip to
He
go
says
do
he's
it.
willing. Oh, the quick trip isn't part of
Yeah,
it.
can you give me a clip? Hey, hold on. I'll give you the W if you can find me a single clip of me telling my audience to go to Minneapolis.
It doesn't matter. You told them.
Okay, so you can't find a single clip
You
of
told
me
them-
telling my audience to go to Minneapolis. So when you say that I'm telling my audience to go out there to go to Minneapolis, you're lying, correct?
I didn't say you told them to go to
He's
Minneapolis.
saying that if this is so important, then you should be willing to. But I just don't think
And it's
that
not just
entails.
Minneapolis.
Yeah, I don't think that's implied in what I said, though.
Go to LA. Go to New York. Go to Chicago. Wherever else ISIS operates.
I think ISIS should be opposed, but I ain't going to Afghanistan or
That's
fucking things
it's
like
right.
that
This
either.
is such an important issue that you need to tell your audience.
I think the cartel should
Yeah,
be
but
opposed.
Rob, isn't this your whole fucking shtick, Rob? You're like, if you support-
down to Mexico, am I?
Isn't this your whole
You
thing?
think
Like,
the
if you support America
Hold
keeping
on, you
AIDS,
think that the border should be secured, but I don't see you going to the border.
Suggesting
Hey, fair
people
point.
engage in lawful defense of the country is different than suggesting people break the
Uh-huh.
law
Yeah,
and
yeah.
actively
Wait,
put
wait,
themselves
Rob.
in physical damage and then being unwilling to go do that yourself.
you're understating your broader point.
If
Because,
I
wait,
bring to the point, No, I refuse to accept, and you're blindfolding yourself.
You don't get a choice. You're accepting it. You accept it whether you like it or not.
I disagree. I'm not accepting it. You're the coward that's telling people to go break their law and put their lives in danger while you're not doing it yourself.
No, but he's
You're
willing
like,
to.
"Oh, if it ever comes towards me, I'll do it." Bullshit. Then go. You're a coward. Imagine you would be the person you think this is the civil rights movement of the day, and imagine being like, "Yeah, I'd stick up, but it's an hour away, so I'm too busy." But, hey, you guys should all do it. You guys should do it.
Wait, Rob. I think you're hiding your power level a little bit here, Rob, because I've heard you make this point about Ukraine funding, where you're like, if you want America to donate or to give money to Ukraine, you should be going to Ukraine to fight. And so, like, when you just say, well, no, this is just for like illegal stuff, I don't think that that's right. This is the kind of argument you deploy a lot about hypocrisy when it's not entailed. And I don't think that Wick has said, I want you to go out of your way to go to places that are in fact, but just basically saying in the course of your day to day, where it's not like unreasonably inconvenient, you see it. And now you might say that's ridiculous, that anyone who has that standard should also be willing to travel across the country. You might say that's ridiculous, but I don't think it's hypocrisy.
I don't give a shit what you think. I think that it is clear rank hypocrisy to suggest that people break
Unless
the law
you're willing to go to the border tomorrow,
let him respond.
I don't think that you care about border enforcement. Unless you're willing to go to the border and start trolling, right? Put on your little plate carrier
you made
and
the
start
point.
trolling.
You made the point. You made the point. Wick.
What?
Can you make it to? Can you go where it stops devolving into autism?
Let Rob respond.
You got a dick in your mouth,
And you would be there in the
what's
border.
preventing you from going, Nick? Right,
Should abandon your local community. Say so.
Wick,
You can't. You got wrecked again.
Okay.
With respect to breaking the
I don't think
law,
there's
you should
anything.
be willing to do it. But if it's a firm prescription,
But whoever linked this, fuck you. But this is why I said I wasn't gonna listen to any more of these types of debates. Okay, fuck.
Why don't you go to the border?